a short session of parliament, and it should be everybody's efforts to make.
Today, we mourn the loss of Dr. Manmohan Singh, one of India's most distinguished statesmen who dedicated his life to economic reforms, inclusive development, and good governance. As a visionary economist and former Prime Minister, his contributions not only uplifted the Indian economy but also touched the lives of those in regions often marginalized in mainstream narratives, including Northeast India. Dr. Singh's tenure as the representative of Assam in the Rajya Sabha reflected his deep bond with the Northeast. His focus on peace, development, and connectivity transformed the region in ways that will resonate for generations. Let us revisit the milestones he achieved for the Northeast, ensuring his legacy is celebrated and remembered. Dr. Manmohan Singh recognized that the Northeast's long-standing issues with insurgency, ethnic conflicts, and political instability were major barriers to development. He focused on creating an environment where peace could flourish. Facilitating peace talks. Under his leadership, the government engaged in successful peace talks with insurgent groups such as the National Socialist Council of Nagaland, NSCN-IM, and Bodo factions. These efforts resulted in ceasefire agreements and peace accords that brought stability to regions like Nagaland and Assam. Dr. Singh's approach was inclusive and patient, prioritizing dialogue and negotiations over force. This strategy created opportunities for rehabilitation and reintegration of former insurgents. Empowering autonomous councils. Singh's government strengthened local governance by empowering autonomous district councils, ADCs, in tribal areas. This gave communities more control over their resources and allowed them to address local issues effectively. Elections in tribal regions were facilitated to ensure democratic processes took root, fostering trust between local populations and the government, ending decades of unrest. The historic Bodo Accord, signed during his tenure, laid the groundwork for peace in Assam, addressing the demands of the Bodo community and bringing years of insurgency to a halt. One of the Northeast's biggest challenges has been its geographical isolation. Dr. Singh's government prioritized infrastructure projects to bridge this gap and improve both internal and external connectivity. Bogibeel Bridge. The Bogibeel Bridge over the Brahmaputra River, initiated during Singh's tenure, is one of India's longest railroad bridges. It significantly reduced travel time between Arunachal Pradesh and Assam, playing a critical role in connecting remote areas to the rest of the country. Broad gauge rail network. Expansion. Dr. Singh's government extended broad gauge railway lines to states like Manipur, Tripura, and Mizoram, which had previously lacked proper rail connectivity. These efforts were vital for integrating the Northeast with the national rail network. Highways and roads. Major highways, including the East-West Corridor and roads under the Special Accelerated Road Development Program in the Northeast, SARDPNE, were upgraded and expanded. This enabled smoother transportation of goods and people across the region. Cross-border connectivity. Projects like the India-Myanmar-Thailand Trilateral Highway aim to make the Northeast a gateway to Southeast Asia, boosting trade and cultural exchanges. Enhanced relations with Bangladesh also allowed the Northeast to use ports like Chittagong, easing access to global markets. Dr. Singh ensured that the Northeast received targeted financial attention to overcome decades of underinvestment and neglect. Mandatory budget allocation. Singh's government mandated that at least 10% of the union budget allocated to central ministries must be spent on northeastern projects. This guaranteed a steady flow of funds for development initiatives. Empowering the Ministry of Donor. The Ministry of Development of Northeastern Region, DONOR, became a key instrument for implementing projects tailored to the region's unique needs. The ministry coordinated with state governments to identify priority sectors, ensuring better utilization of resources. Support for livelihood programs. Financial assistance was provided to schemes promoting agriculture, handlooms, and handicrafts, which are vital to the region's economy. Initiatives like the Northeast Rural Livelihood Project, NERLP, helped improve living standards in rural areas. Dr. Singh recognized the untapped economic potential of the Northeast and worked to attract investment and industrial activity to the region. Northeast Industrial and Investment Promotion Policy, NEIPP, 2007, this policy provided tax exemptions, capital subsidies, and other incentives to industries investing in the Northeast. It attracted private companies to set up manufacturing and service units, creating employment opportunities for the local population. Focus on tourism. Dr. Singh's government also emphasized developing the region's tourism potential. Investments were made to improve infrastructure at key tourist sites and promote the unique cultural heritage of the Northeast globally. Strengthening MSMEs. Efforts were made to develop micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, in sectors like handicrafts, tea, and organic farming. These industries not only supported the local economy, but also helped showcase the Northeast's identity. Dr. Singh believed that education was the key to empowering the youth of the Northeast and ensuring their participation in India's growth story. Establishment of Rajiv Gandhi Indian Institute of Management, RGIIM. To create a center of excellence in management education, RGIIM was established in Shillong. The institute aimed to nurture local talent and provide the region's youth with world-class educational opportunities. Expansion of educational infrastructure. Several universities and technical institutions were upgraded, while vocational training centers were established to equip students with job-ready skills. Institutions like IIT Guwahati received increased support to enhance research capabilities. Focus on tribal education. Special scholarships and residential schools were introduced for tribal students, ensuring access to quality education for communities in remote areas. Environmental conservation. Dr. Singh's government also focused on protecting the Northeast's unique biodiversity. Initiatives to conserve forests, wildlife, and traditional farming practices were supported to ensure sustainable development. Cultural integration. Festivals and cultural events showcasing the Northeast's rich traditions were supported nationally, creating awareness about the region's heritage and fostering a sense of pride among its people. Dr. Manmohan Singh's contributions to the Northeast extended beyond policies and projects. His quiet yet resolute efforts to bring peace, prosperity, and inclusivity to the region reflected his deep empathy and statesmanship. By addressing the region's long-standing issues with a blend of vision and patience, he ensured that the Northeast moved closer to realizing its potential as an integral part of India's growth story. As we remember this great leader, let us continue to work toward the ideals he championed: peace, development, and equality for all. His legacy will remain a guiding light for the future of the Northeast and the nation. Thank you.